Over 20 million people are threatened by drought in the Horn of Africa, Nigeria, Yemen and South Sudan. In Somalia, over 6 million need humanitarian assistance. 680,000 people have fled the drought in Somalia since last November. Nearly 1.5 million children are expected to suffer from acute malnutrition this year in Somalia. This is the fourth rainy season when there has been little or no rain in Somaliland. This self-proclaimed state, recognised internationally as an autonomous region of Somalia, was one of the first hit by drought 3 years ago. Many livestock farmers in remote areas, like here in the village of Sheikh Awa, have lost up to 80% of their animals. Karan Asman is one of those.
I was born here. I've never seen a drought like this. I had 200 goats, and now I've 20 left.
Karan is among the residents selected by the NGO Concern to receive a cash transfer she can use in the local shop. The project, financed by the European Humanitarian Aid Office, is helping 172 families of the 400 or so scattered around these mountains.
I was given $112. It helps us to get by. I bought flour, oil, sugar and tea.
Karan and the other beneficiaries get a mobile phone SIM card onto which the NGO has transferred money. The transaction takes place just outside the shop, the only place where most of the time there is a mobile network connection. The NGO Concern supports 92,000 families in Somalia with partial assistance from the EU. It's the first time these villages have received any help since the drought began. To make sure it runs smoothly now and in the future, the distribution system is closely monitored.
The main issue is that they feel that very few are selected among those who are affected. We have planned 3 transfers for them, so it's going to last them up to the month of June. But we obviously know that the situation won't have changed much because the rains are not looking good. So we know that they will still need support.
The project is part of a wider strategy to try to head off famine before it happens. Somalia launched a pre-famine alert last January, and international aid efforts are already underway.
Heather, only 6 years ago, Somalia faced a famine that cost the lives of over 250,000 people. How has humanitarian response changed?
Now the humanitarian response is gearing up and scaling up now, before a famine declaration is made. This time we have the information on food security deterioration, malnutrition numbers, the prices of foods in the market. There are all indicators to us that something is happening. So this time we've used that information to respond earlier.
An extreme lack of access to water worsens the crisis in arid areas. Some communities rely on water that they buy, though the drought means prices have risen. We travelled south to the village of Baldia, where the construction of a water tank has made a big difference to the local people.
In times of heavy drought like this, people depend on water distribution and on the ability to store it. In the village of Baldia, the rain that's coming won't be wasted.
This water tank was completed last March. Concern has built around 50 in Somalia in the past 25 years and around 20 in Somaliland more recently, mainly financed by the EU.
This tank contains 270,000 litres of water, and that is water enough for 300 families for 20 days at an average of 7.5 litres per person per day.
Before the tank was built, getting water required huge effort.
Sometimes we went to Ober, which is 6 kilometres away in Ethiopia. When there were tensions between the two countries, the border was closed and we had to go 15 kilometres away. I went early in the morning and sometimes I didn't get back till 7 p.m.
The NGOs say they'll need more money to help 5.5 million people by the end of the year in the whole of Somalia. The local people hope this rainy season will bring rain and a return to normal life.